John, are you ready?
Yeah, my mind it's multitasking is hard for me at times.
Welcome to Manage This by Second Nature. I'm your host, Jack Tucci, and today we're joined by John Beaman. John, how we doing?
Doing great. Glad to be here, Jack.
Good to see you.
Good to be here.
John, tell the folks at home, who are you? What do you do?
I am John Beaman, broker and owner of Traverse Property Management. Been in business nearly 5 years now.
Awesome.
14 years of property management experience.
Awesome. Well, listen, we got some fun lined up for today.
Excited.
We're going to be putting you through an obstacle course, number of challenges, and I'll be asking you some challenging questions along the way. Let's see how you fare. How's that sound?
Sounds terrific. Let's do it.
Cool. We'll get on up there, and good luck, brother. Let's see what John's got. John, I got a vacancy question for you for this challenge. Share a time when you were staring down some vacancies, and how did you get them filled?
Vacancies is always a really tough issue in property management, especially nowadays. Here lately, it's been tough. Really trying to create as many concessions as we can, and
there you go.
Get everything priced as best as we can.
He's balancing, he's good.
And create any sort of owner incentives.
Easy money by John.
I was trying to run. Create as many concessions, have things priced as best as we can, and make it as competitive as we can with our competition.
Well, you're making this competition competitive here because you ran right through that thing. Good job, John. All right, John's on the cheese wall. John, mice like cheese, but who doesn't like mice? Our residents. Tell me about a time you had, really the worst pest issue you've ever seen at one of your properties.
Worst pest issue we've ever had was a small multifamily complex. It was 24 units, and there was a resident who was picking up furniture off the curb, and the furniture was infested with bed bugs, and just continued to pick these the furniture off the curb, and it just kept a reoccurring issue of infestation. And so we ended up treating all of the units out there a total of 3 times, and the bed bugs just never went away. And ultimately the property owner ended up having to sell the house, sell the complex.
Sounds like a huge headache, John.
It was a huge headache. Bed bugs, and then you just got residents that are just pulling furniture off the curb and trying to bring stuff in that shouldn't be there. So,
John, who pays for something like that?
That's the property owner that pays for that, Jack. Bed bug treatments are not cheap, especially when you're doing 26 units of them.
I think John's going to run through this one quickly. John, no hands on this one, by the way. Don't touch that rope. Easy layup question for you. What's your favorite color, and why is it purple?
Purple's my favorite color because it's a royal color. It's prestigious. It just exudes excellence. Is why purple is my favorite color.
Hey,
Jack.
you're exuding excellence right now, John. Good stuff. All right, John's going for the tire fire here. John, go ahead and get it. Yeah, there you go. I'm going to ask you a question here. Insurance compliance, that's important. Have you had a time where you've had property damage and the resident did not have insurance? What was the recourse there? Oh.
Property damage and the tenant didn't have renter's insurance. We had a tenant move out, and
He's having too much fun with this.
The water got activated, and unbeknownst to us, the water valve to the washing machine was on. When we came and did our move-out inspection, we found that the house was flooded. And so that tenant did not have renter's insurance. And
that was a fun conversation with the owner,
that
or what?
was about I think it was about a $10,000 cost on that property owner.
Well, just a quick 10 grand, that's all, right?
Right, 10 grand, and ultimately, yeah, that was a costly deal with no renter's insurance for sure.
So it sounds like it's critical to have some insurance compliance then in your business.
Yeah, renter's insurance is a must in this business. There's always the many, many, many unknowns that come about. Boy, this one is a booger. All right.
And you're not even breathing heavy. Good job.
Woo.
All right, we'll call this Mission Impossible for how he's gonna have to walk on the wall here. John, are you ready?
I'm ready as I'll ever be, Jack.
Good luck, brother. Go for it. Speaking of which, how do you deal with the resident turnover, right? People leave, people move. What is the reason why you think most people leave or move? And then how do you ultimately deal with it?
Repairs not being handled or handled promptly, and renewal rates. I do think really getting the owner to understand. Obviously, we want to keep the property at market value, but we also
there he goes.
We also
don't look down.
Don't want to lose any money too. So we want to keep it at market value, but we got to get the owner to understand the cost of vacancy, the fees associated, the vacancy cost associated can be far greater than what an additional $100 a month would be. Over the duration, $1,200, it's just, you just got to get a property owner to understand that and really drive that experience home to them.
Setting the right expectations with those owners too.
100%.
Cool. Well, good job. You made it through the bookshelf.
Bookshelf complete.
Okay, John, don't fall because you're right above me and you'll land right on top of me. But final challenge here and final question. Lease compliance. What percentage of your residents actually read their lease?
Ooh, Jack.
Go ahead and hit that surfboard, man.
Hang 10. Oh, man, I almost made it. Lease compliance, tenants reading their lease. I would say, Jack, well, we're talking about a small group here, man. I'd say 10% is what we're probably dealing with.
That's too low, John. That's too low.
10%. I know it's 90% that don't know anything about what they just signed. I find that where they really get upset on their not reading their lease agreement would be maintenance issues caused by tenant negligence and tenants completely naive to the fact that they're going to be financially responsible for that. You know, just really kind of taking care of the home, right? And knowing what they signed when it comes to that maintenance piece with the home they're in.
Awesome, John. Well, you did it. Congrats. And come on back down.
I'm coming, Jack.
John just wrapped up. John, you did great. How was it?
Man, it was tough, but overcame and conquered.
Yeah, I mean, look, you made it look pretty easy, if we're being honest.
Well, property management, it is very much like property management in that you've just got chaos you're going through as you're coming across more things that you're not even aware of. So,
yeah. Well, thank you for joining us for Second Nature's Manage This. We'll see you next time.